Hey, hello, how are you? I am Chris Robin, aka at Detroit Beastie, here with Fantasy Six Pack to talk about Monday Night Football. We have a double header of fun, and we're going to do this thing one video at a time. But because of the double-headed nature of things, we're going to do two videos, but each one is going to be an abbreviated version. So no more 20 to 30-minute videos per game. Well, at least not today, not for today's Monday Night Football action. Before I get to the first game, or the first leg, however you want to put it, of Monday night's action, the Philadelphia Eagles fly down to Tampa Bay to take on the Bucs. Baker Mayfield, the pirate ship, at Raymond James Stadium at 7:16. Before I get into that, make sure you go to the website at fantasy6pack.net and you join up all access. You get it's like $9.99 a month, and you can do per month. You can do 3 months, 6 months, and I'm telling you, after one weekend, one slate, after today's doubleheader slate, the second two-leg, however you want to put it, you'll have enough money to pay for a whole full year. Again, disclaimer, I can't guarantee that. Between me and Dave at Corporal Eddie, we do our best to get you where you need to be above the money line here. So make sure you head to the website, check us out, and you'll have full access to anything and everything that you want. Sometimes, in rare occasions, I've given my phone number away to people that need, access to me. And again, I don't charge anybody a dime. It's all for the website, let's say. So, okay, let's talk about the football game, and we're going to breeze through these things, right? No, these notes that I've been doing, right? I've been told a million times, you need to cut down on the time. Yeah, you have no time for Beastie. You got no time getting out and getting sun and all this stuff. I'm just like always with a pen and paper, and it's causing me stress in my personal life. So we're going to do this a different way. So let's just get right to it. Philly is playing Tampa. Over under is at 45 total points in this one. I see every bit of the over hitting. We'll wait till we get to the betting trends at the end here. Final score, obviously at the end. Why would I give you a final score and then my plays that you turn off the video? Or maybe one time, if the slate kind of calls for it, like a specialty kind of slate, I don't know, I'll give the final score and I'll do the video and rewind, right? Like Ace Ventura when he did all that stuff. But let's go to it right now. Jalen Hurts, one of, if not the best quarterbacks in the professional football league in comparison to Patrick Mahomes, who absolutely decimated the Chicago Bears on Sunday. Jalen Hurts, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense, 14th overall against opposing quarterbacks. That doesn't matter with Jalen Hurts. He's 16 grand on FanDuel, 11.6 on DraftKings, $42 on Yahoo. You're looking at the kit and caboodle with Jalen today. 20 to 21 completions, 240-ish yards, 9 to 10 carries, 50, maybe 50 yards, and 2 to 3 touchdowns. I'll just say it now. I'm going to guarantee 3 touchdowns for Jalen Hurts, 2 in the air, 1 on the ground. I guess the old baseball thing, when there's 2 outs, you go, hey, there's 2 outs. We'll do the same thing. Jalen Hurts, we got 2 touchdowns in the air and then 1 on the ground. On the opposing side of things, Baker Mayfield not doing a half bad job, because when we look at this thing, it's 2 teams. They're both undefeated, 2-0 versus 2-0. But we get Philadelphia, right? They're one of the best defenses in the leagues, but against quarterbacks right now, they're 31st overall. I don't know if that's an error or a mistake in DVP, or I've just been stuck in a basement somewhere too long, but to me, that doesn't seem true. I'll have the fact checkers here at Fantasy Six Pack get back to you. But right now, Baker Mayfield, $14,000 on FanDuel, 8.8 on DraftKings, $20 on Yahoo, 21 to 22 completions, 250 yards, 3 to 4 carries, nothing crazy. Baker doesn't get too wild on the ground anymore, but another 10 to 12 yards, and he will throw 2 touchdowns. That's the look, right? Baker Mayfield with 2 touchdowns. When we look at the Eagles running backs, right, it was all about DeAndre Swift last time out because Kenny Gainwell had a problem with his ribs. Now everybody's, oh my God, Swift is back, right? He looks like the University of Georgia Swift, or when the Lions had first drafted him, and it was just Swift after Swift after Swift, and he looked phenomenal. But I don't want folks to be fooled. Kenny Gainwell is, and he looks to be their number 1 running back, but hey, with the Swift, the way he played here, at least, best case scenario for tonight, it's going to be a 50-50 split. So it's not going to be heavily Swift, it's not going to be heavily Gainwell. So let's give Swift 9 to 10 carries, 40, maybe 50 yards, 2 to 3 receptions for 20 yards or so. And when we look back, I kind of gave Swift stuff in reverse. Normally I do DVP, salary, and then projection. So I gave you the projections, and let's run it back with the DVP. The Tampa Bay Bucks, 9th overall against opposing running back. Swift, 11.5 on FanDuel, $8,000 on DraftKings, 25 on Yahoo. When we look at Kenny Gainwell, he was one of my favorite running backs coming out of the last 5 years of draft classes. And again, I don't rank dynasty. I don't have to be right or wrong. Just a personal favorite of mine, given his skill set of what he can do on the field, right? And so that first game of the season, when they were pounding the ball with Kenny, it was a joy to see. Bummer that he hurt his ribs, but again, he's back and we shall see. 10 grand even on FanDuel, 5-6 on DK, $19 on Yahoo. Gainwell, 10 to 11 carries. See, so I have Gainwell with an extra carry or two over Swift, about 50 to 55 yards, 2 to 3 receptions, another 15 yards or so. The only difference, and again, you go out on a limb in these videos or with articles in your writings, I think Gainwell finds the end zone, and that's basically the difference between him and Swift in terms of things being split 50-50 difference. Gainwell finds the end zone. When we look at Tampa Bay's running back, Rashad White, 4th overall in terms of DVP, Philly, 4th overall against opposing running backs. That seems more like it. Again, we'll get back to you on the Baker Mayfield and what Philly is DVP-wise against quarterback. But Rashad White, I do a lot of actually mostly all DFS, but I do, when you answer me, or and ask me a question in DMs, or you shoot me a text on Facebook, I try to do the best that I can, because basically this is the same stuff, but DFS, in terms of what the players do at the end of the day on the field, it's all the same stuff. The only difference is I do it, you're after one game or 1 week, you're done and you throw out your roster. And I get a lot of, the last few weeks, I've gotten a lot of Rashad White versus whoever questions. And when it comes to this slate, the only running back in town for Tampa Bay in my book, and when you look at White, 11 grand on FanDuel, 8-4 on DraftKings, you're looking at 14 to 15 carries, 65, maybe 70-ish yards, 3 to 4 receptions, 20 yards, and he will find the end zone. When we transition now to Philly, to me personally, Philadelphia Eagles strong suit, aside from Jalen Hurts, and if you ask this guy to do it all, he could, but again, A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith are so good. They're star-studded, and again, even the announcers say, game one, game one or series to series, right? That's just the way it works out. One series, it's A.J. Brown. Next series, it's Devonta Smith. At the end of the game, it all evens out at the end here. So let's look at A.J. Brown briefly. Tampa Bay, 21st overall against opposing wide receivers. A.J. Brown, 12 grand on FanDuel, 10-2 on DK, $29 on Yahoo, 8 to 9 targets, 6 to 7 receptions. You're looking at 75 to 80 yards, and I know what you're saying. Those are kind of rookie numbers. Those numbers are kind of low. When you look at the DVP, Tampa Bay, as I said, 21st, but they do have some guys in that secondary that don't necessarily scare me or freak me out, but the way they can scheme things is they can slice the football field in half. So to me, Philly's going to have to do a great job of how they line up their guys, and normally A.J. Brown's a big dude, right? You can just line him up on the same side of the field and just run go routes, right? But with Devonta Smith, 12.5 on FanDuel, 10 grand on DK, $26 on Yahoo, they tend to move him around more often. So that seems to me more likely that Devonta Smith will have just a tad more success here in this game. Does that necessarily mean he's the better wide receiver? No, but in a game like this, both teams 2-0, they're looking to get to 3-0. Let's roll. First end of the Monday night doubleheader here. Devonta Smith, 7 to 8 targets, 5-6 receptions, 70 to 80 yards, and I do think he finds the end zone as well. When we look at the Tampa Bay wide receivers, look no further. This duo of Chris Godwin and Mike Evans have been just fantastic, and they've been together for a long time. It reminds you of, I don't even know what it would remind you of, because these guys are always moving around so much. Two superstar wide receivers haven't existed on the same team in a while, and maybe just because it's just a secret here, I'm recording this very late on a Sunday evening, my brain's not functioning the way it used to, or if it was earlier in the day here. But when you look at Evans and Godwin, both are a threat to any defense when you get to it. When you look at Mike Evans, he is 14.5 on FanDuel, 9.2 on DraftKings, $31 on Yahoo. I have Evans, 8 or 9 targets, 4 or 5 receptions, 75 75 to 80 yards. Godwin, 8 to 9 targets. So I have Godwin an extra target or two and an extra reception or two. 6 to 7 receptions for around 75 to 80 yards. It's just so dang hard for me or anybody to just go, you get a touchdown, place it anywhere you want to. So to me, I'm going to give the extra touchdown to Chris Godwin just based on what I've seen so far in the way Baker Mayfield's played the first few games. When we look at the tight ends, not much going on. The only one worth mentioning here this evening is Dallas Goedert and Tampa Bay, 20th overall against opposing tight ends. And Goedert is a big play tight end. He still is one of those top 5 tight ends, obviously, and the studly tight ends, they kind of dwindled away, and now we're starting to see the emergence of a few, not to mention Sam Laporta as one of them. But Dallas Goedert, 9.5 on FanDuel, 6.4 on DK, $16 on Yahoo. Goedert, 4 to 5 targets, 3 to 4 receptions, 45 to 50 yards. When we look at Tampa Bay's tight end of note, it'd have to be Otten. And again, he is making his way up dynasty rankings. I don't know. It's not really my thing anymore, but in DFS circles, a tight end is something I primarily punt. I've said that numerous times. When you look at Otten, it's a lovely thing because if this is right, Philadelphia dead last against defending opposing tight ends. Otten, 7.5 on FanDuel, 4.2 on DK, only $10 on Yahoo. 4 to 5 targets, 3 to 4 receptions, 35 to 40 yards. And again, within a tight end like this, with his price tag, as I said, if Otten can catch 4 passes for 40 yards, you're looking at 8 points, and if he finds the end zone, then we're in hog heaven. But with a price tag like that, you don't need much to strike value. Some other players of note: Sean Tucker, Tampa Bay's rookie running back, Rashad Penny. Is he even going to be active now that Gainwell and Swift are both, healthy and cohesive? And that means it's not a Boston Scott game, fellas, girls and guys. So what are we going to do there? Some recent betting trends, final score, and we'll get the heck out of here. Philly, 1-5 against the spread. Their last 6 games played in week 3. So every time they played in week 3, the last 6 years, they're 1-5 against the spread. I know it's weird. I pulled it out of my b-hole, but hey, that's what we do with sports betting, especially here at the Fantasy Six Pack. The under in 4 of Philly's last 5 games against other opposing teams that play in the NFC. They are as well in the NFC themselves. Tampa Bay, 4-13-1 their last 18 games outright. I might have to edit that out. That doesn't seem right. And the under in 13 of Tampa Bay's last 20 games. So Chris, what's the final score? You said this is going to be 5 to 10 minutes, and here we are coming up on 13 minutes. I just can't help it. Give me the Philadelphia Eagles to win this game, 31-21. Philly wins by 10, so give me Philly -5, -6. Again, I have Philadelphia winning this 31-21. They win by 10, and they go to 3-0, and they are in rarefied air. So until I see you again in a few more moments to talk about the Rams in Cincinnati, be good, be safe. Philadelphia Eagles win this one, and they stay undefeated, 31-21. Talk to you soon. Bye.